Welcome back, our young explorers, to another absolutely exciting explainer. Today, we're taking a massive leap back in time to uncover what I like to call the ultimate survival and success guidebook. Just imagine this. The Israelites have just made their great, miraculous escape from Egypt. But now, while they're standing at the edge of a vast, unpredictable desert, they need a plan. They need rules to survive, to thrive, and to become a truly great nation. And that is exactly what the 23rd chapter of Exodus is all about. It is literally a step-by-step masterclass in building an amazing society completely from the ground up. So think about it for just a second. If you were suddenly in charge of camping in a massive desert with hundreds of thousands of people, trying to build a brand new, fair, and happy nation from scratch, what would your most important rules be? How in the world do you make sure people treat each other right? How do you handle bullies, or make sure the sick and the poor are actually taken care of? Let's see exactly how this ancient guidebook tackled that very puzzle. All right, let's dive right into Section 1, Rules for Fair Play, Building a Just Nation. To build a truly great nation, you absolutely need rules to keep everyone playing fair and square, right? God's very first set of rules here requires absolute integrity. The first rule is simple but huge: no spreading false rumors. You just can't twist the truth. Second, you must not follow the crowd to do evil. If everyone else is doing something bad, you have to be the brave one who stands up and says, "No way." Third, justice has to be perfectly impartial. You can't favor someone just because they're rich, but you also can't twist justice just because someone is poor. Fairness applies to everyone equally. And finally, never ever take a bribe. Sure, a shiny coin might look super tempting, but the guidebook warns that a bribe literally blinds the clear-sighted and twists the truth. Moving right along to Section 2, Helping Others and Enemies. This is all about radical compassion. This brings us to an incredible superpower this ancient guidebook teaches, and it's a big one. Radical compassion for absolutely everyone. Yes, even your enemies. Instead of acting out of vengeance, the rule says that if you come across your enemy's ox or donkey wandering off, you can't just laugh and walk away. You absolutely must return it to them. Even more dramatically, if you see the donkey of someone who hates you lying down, totally helpless under a heavy load, you aren't allowed to just pass by. You have to go over, put your anger completely aside, and help them free that poor animal. It's an action-packed lesson in showing kindness when it's the absolute hardest thing to do. Building on that compassion, the guidebook issues some incredibly strict commands for protecting the vulnerable. The rule here is super powerful. Do not oppress a foreigner or a stranger. Why? Because the Israelites knew exactly what it felt like to be foreigners when they were stuck in the land of Egypt. They knew the sting of being exploited and treated poorly. So they were commanded to be a glowing shield for the poor and marginalized, to stay completely away from fraud, and to always, always defend the innocent. Next up is Section 3, Time to Rest and Renew, the awesome power of 7. We've talked a lot about hard work and standing up for justice, but you know what? This guidebook also contains the most wonderfully relaxing command ever given. Behold, the magical, super important number 7. In this desert adventure guide, the number 7 holds the ultimate key to rest and renewal for everything and everyone in the entire land. Look at how beautifully this works on 2 totally different levels. First, we have the 7th year, which is also known as the Sabbath year. For 6 years you farm the land, but on the 7th year, you give the earth a break. You just let it rest. Whatever grows naturally that year is left to ensure the poor people have access to food, and whatever they leave behind is for the wild animals. Then, on a smaller, weekly scale, we have the 7th day. You work hard for 6 days, but on day 7, work stops completely. Humans, servants, foreigners, and even the family ox and donkey get a full day off to rest and be totally renewed. Literally everyone gets a break. Now for Section 4, 3 big yearly celebrations. Because we are talking about epic parties. Building a nation isn't just about rules and resting, right? It's also about throwing epic, grateful parties. The guidebook sets up an amazing calendar of joy and gratitude. First, in the spring month of Aviv, there's the Festival of Matzah. For 7 days, they eat flat bread called matzah to celebrate their hasty but amazing escape from Egypt. Next comes the Summer Harvest Festival, where they bring the very first and best fruits of their fields as a massive thank you offering. Finally, at the end of the year, there's the huge Festival of Ingathering, celebrating the grand results of all their hard work in the fields. And there was one major non-negotiable rule for these celebrations. Absolutely no one is allowed to show up empty-handed. They must bring their absolute best to celebrate God's blessings. Which brings us to Section 5, the Guardian Angel's Promise. As our young nation prepares to march deeper into that dangerous, unknown desert, God gives them an incredible promise. He sends a guardian angel on a massive mission. The angel's job is to guard them on their long, perilous journey and bring them safely to the special place God prepared. If the people listen and follow the rules, God promises to be an enemy to their enemies, defeating rival nations along the way. Furthermore, he promises to bless their food, bless their water, and even take sickness away from them entirely. But listen closely because there is a very strict warning attached to this promise. God requires exclusive devotion. They absolutely cannot worship fake, standing stone idols from other nations. They have to smash them and stay completely uncompromised in their loyalty to the one true God. Let's see how this all builds into a seriously smart, strategic battle plan. God tells them he won't drive all their enemies out in a single year. Why not? Well, because if the land empties out too fast, it will become desolate and completely overrun by dangerous wild animals. Instead, we have the gradual conquest strategy. Step 1, God will send buzzing hornets ahead to create confusion and drive the enemies out. Step 2, they take the land little by little. Step 3, this gives the Israelites the time they need to safely grow their numbers, establish their towns, and properly take possession of their new home. It's just a genius plan for long-term success. Finally, we reach section 6, the big lesson for us. Let's get some food for thought. So what does this all mean for us today? How do we take all these ancient rules about donkeys, harvest parties, and buzzing hornets and turn them into a super-powered moral lesson for our own lives? Well, the key takeaway from Exodus 23 is that true faith requires a lifestyle of justice, radical compassion, and uncompromised devotion. It means standing up for fairness whether someone is rich or poor. It means showing radical compassion to everyone, stopping to help even those who are unkind to you. It commands us to always protect the vulnerable and never take advantage of marginalized people. It reminds us that practicing healthy rest and renewal is absolutely essential. You and everyone around you need a break. And above all, it requires exclusive, complete faithfulness to God, trusting Him to guide your journey. Young explorers, I challenge you to take these awesome superpowers of justice, radical compassion, and fairness and use them in your own lives every single day. So the next time you see someone struggling, will you just pass by, or will you be the hero of your own adventure? Click the bell button, like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.